Back in 2020, when the ammo panic hit like a freight train, shelves were stripped bare. 9mm vanished faster than toilet paper during lockdowns. I stood there, shaking my head. And that's when I saw them. A few boxes of 357 Magnum, sitting quietly like they didn't get the memo. I swear, they were just sitting there, as if they were smirking at me. Why was that round still available? And how the hell did a cartridge from the 1930s end up looking like the smartest option in the store? This isn't some nostalgic cowboy trip. This is about performance, trust, and the kind of real-world practicality only experienced shooters care about. In this video, I'll walk you through 7 real reasons why 357 Magnum isn't just relevant. It's probably the best value in ammo you can get in 2025. Let's get into it. Let's not dance around it. The 357 Magnum hits like a freight train dipped in gunpowder and bad intentions. We're talking about one of the hardest-hitting handgun cartridges you can carry, especially without stepping into the boutique world of 454 Casull or 10mm plus P handloads that cost more than dinner for two. With a 125-grain jacketed hollow point, a standard 357 Magnum can clock in at over 1,400 feet per second and deliver more than 600 foot-pounds of energy. That's not just a little more than your average 9mm, it's nearly double. Even 45 ACP starts to feel like a slow-moving couch cushion when you lay it side by side with a screaming hot 357. And unlike the big-bore thumpers, the 357 gives you that energy without turning your wrists into pudding. Terminal performance? Legendary. It expands. It penetrates. It stops. On bare gel. Through barriers. Against soft targets. This round has proven itself from urban defense to wilderness carry. And that flat trajectory? Let's just say your follow-up shot isn't a guessing game if you actually need to stretch it out a little. I like to say it's the round that makes steel targets ring like church bells on a Sunday. And the best part? You get all this power at a price that doesn't feel like you're burning money every time you pull the trigger. So yeah, it hits hard. Real hard. And when you compare it to what you're paying per round, there's just no other cartridge in its price class delivering this much punch. Not even close. Here's one of those sneaky advantages that doesn't show up on ammo charts or fancy ballistics gel photos. If you own a 357 Magnum revolver, you're also holding a .38 special shooter in your hand. That's right, every 357 revolver on the market is dual caliber capable, meaning you can drop in soft shooting, wallet-friendly .38. Special rounds for training, plinking, or letting your less experienced buddies take a turn at the range without scaring the soul out of them. It's kind of like having a muscle car that can also switch into hybrid mode. You want fire and brimstone? Load up those 158-grain 357s and let it roar. You want an easy day at the range, low recoil, or to run 100 rounds without bruising your palm or your budget? Toss in .38 specials and shoot all day. This flexibility is a game changer. It means you're not always committed to recoil, noise, and higher ammo costs every time you take your wheel gun out. And in times when 357 might be a bit pricey or harder to find, .38 is often more available and cheaper. That's just smart shooting economics. I've lost count how many times I've shown up at the range with just one revolver and 2 boxes of ammo. 357s for business, .38s for pleasure. Try that with your striker-fired 10mm. So, if you like options, and let's be honest, who doesn't? This alone makes the 357 platform twice the gun for the same price. Let's be real. Semi-autos are sexy. Slide racks, high-cap mags, optics cut slides, all that tactical sugar. But when it comes to trust-your-life reliability, a well-built 357 Magnum revolver is the Clint Eastwood of handguns. Gritty, dependable, and not interested in your excuses. Here's the thing. Revolvers don't care if you limp wrist. They don't care if your ammo's a little underpowered. They don't care if you've been out in the rain, dropped it in the dirt, or forgot to clean it for 6 months. You pull the trigger, it rotates, it fires, period. No stovepipes, no failure to feed, no double feeds, no tap rack bang nonsense, just bang. Again and again. That's why revolvers like the Ruger GP100, S&W 686, or even the old-school Model 66 are still trusted by folks who spend time in bear country or the middle of nowhere, because when it really matters, simple beats fancy every time. I remember taking my GP100 out on a backpacking trip through Montana. Cold, dusty, misty mornings. Didn't clean it, didn't baby it. That big stainless beast sat in my chest rig for 5 days. Shot it on the 6th. Perfect function. Didn't even flinch. Look, I love Glocks, SIGs, and all the polymer warriors too. But let's not kid ourselves. If your life depended on 5 rounds going bang without a hiccup, no matter what, you'd want a 357 revolver in your hand. And honestly, so would I. Drop it in the mud? It shrugs. Forget to lube it? Doesn't care. Bad day? It's having a great one. You remember the great ammo shortage of 2020? Of course you do. We all do. People were buying 9mm like it was bottled oxygen. 223 and 5.56 disappeared faster than free beer at a gun show. You'd walk into a store and see nothing but tumbleweeds, and maybe a single box of 25 auto if you were really lucky. But you know what I saw? A few lonely boxes of 357 Magnum, just chillin', like they didn't even realize the world was on fire. Not many, but enough. Enough to make a point. See, because 357 Magnum isn't as trendy or mainstream as 9mm or 5.56, it doesn't vanish first when panic hits. And that makes it a sleeper win for the rest of us. When everyone else is elbowing each other for the last box of 9mm FMJ, the smart folks are quietly grabbing 357 like it's the best-kept secret on the shelf. In a world where preparedness matters more than ever, this isn't just a nice perk. It's strategic. Whether you're stocking up for the future or just don't want to deal with empty shelves during the next ammo freakout, having a 357 gives you options when others are left empty-handed. When the shelves go bare, you don't want to be part of the crowd. You want to be the guy walking out with a grin and a full range bag. And trust me, 357 Magnum makes that possible. Let's get something straight. I'm not saying 357 Magnum is the cheapest ammo out there. It's not. But what I am saying, loud and clear, is that you get more ballistic muscle per dollar with 357 than just about anything else in its class. Right now, in mid-2025, standard 357 FMJ runs around 70 to 85 cents per round, depending on the brand. That's more than 9mm, sure. But let's compare apples to fire-breathing apples. 10mm auto is clocking in at $1.20 and up per shot. 45 ACP, anywhere from 60 to 90 cents. And it still lumbers along like it's wearing steel-toe boots. Now look at the numbers behind the bang. A good 125 GR 357 load gives you over 600 ft-lbs of muzzle energy. That's more energy than most 10mm loads, and for significantly less coin. Meanwhile, 9mm hovers around 350 ft-lbs, unless you feed it plus P or boutique loads that'll eat your wallet faster than they'll stop a threat. This is what I call value per foot-pound. When you break down what you're actually getting in velocity, energy, and stopping capability, 357 gives you the kind of return on investment that should make any number-crunching gun nerd grin. It's like paying sedan money and getting V8 muscle under the hood. So no, it's not bargain bin plinking ammo, but it's not supposed to be. This is ammo that earns every cent you spend on it, and then some. And when you factor in reliability, versatility, and stopping power, yeah, I'll take that deal any day of the week. Here's something people don't talk about enough. Reloading 357 Magnum is a dream, especially if you're the kind of shooter who likes to stretch every dollar without sacrificing performance. Revolvers, by nature, are polite little machines. They don't fling your brass into the weeds like some caffeinated Glock. Every casing pops out clean and lands in your hand like a gentleman. That means you can keep your brass, reuse it, and cut your cost per round by 40–60% over time. If you shoot a lot, that's not just savings, it's sustainability. And 357 brass? It's tough as nails. You can reload those suckers many times before they start to complain. Whether you're loading light 38s for range fun or full-power Magnums that wake the neighbors, the 357 platform handles it all. I've been hand-loading 357 for years. There's something weirdly satisfying about crafting your own custom rounds, then watching them group tight at 25 yards with that familiar bark and flash. It's like barbecue, messy, personal, and always better when you make it yourself. More importantly, it means you're not at the mercy of ammo shelves or supply chain hiccups. Got powder, primers, and projectiles? You've got freedom. So if you've ever thought about getting into reloading, or just want to shoot more for less, 357 Magnum is one of the best calibers to start with. High power, low brass loss, total control. And hey, who doesn't love the idea of ammo that pays for itself over time? Let's be honest here. Some guns are practical, some are powerful, but very few are actually fun. The 357 Magnum? It's all three. With a grin slapped on top, there's just something unapologetically awesome about touching off a full-power 357 round. That crack of the shot, the flame leaping from the barrel, the satisfying push into your palm. It doesn't just go bang. It makes a statement. People down the firing line stop what they're doing to peek around like, what the hell was that? And you know what? That never gets old. Compared to shooting 9mm. Let's be honest. It's like comparing a firework to a car alarm. 9mm goes pop, 357 goes boom, and it leaves a little fireball behind like it's signing its name in gunpowder. The recoil is snappy, sure, but not abusive. It's just enough to remind you you're alive and doing something worth remembering. And when you're shooting a heavy frame revolver like a GP100 or 686, that power becomes a controlled, repeatable rhythm. It's part power trip, part range therapy, and every bit worth it. If you've never shot a full house 357 before, do yourself a favor. Load one up and send it downrange. Just be ready to fall in love, again and again. So here it is, plain and simple, 357. Magnum gives you serious power, unmatched reliability, surprising versatility, smart long-term value, and more fun at the range than most calibers can dream of. Plenty of shooters out there feel the same way. Many swear by it for carry, for the woods, or just for sheer satisfaction. Of course, not everyone agrees. Some folks think it kicks too hard, costs too much, or belongs in the past. And that's fine. You don't have to give up your polymer pistols or your favorite compact carry. But if you ask me, overlooking 357 in 2025 means missing out on one of the most capable, proven, and satisfying rounds still in the game. Hit like, drop your 357 love or hate in the comments, and subscribe for more real talk from the range. This round's still got a lot of fire left in it.